Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at gcnlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
Watch the greenbacks tumble.
Everyone all set? Cocked? Locked? Here we go. Your dial set correctly to USAPrepares.com. We broadcast 2 hours from high atop the Missouri Ozark Mountains, right here from the farm. We're glad you're here. And if you'd like to call us, we'll pay for the call. 866-582-9933. 866-582-9933. And we have a listen line. If you'd like to listen on your phone, if you have unlimited long distance or you're traveling, that number is 605-477-3249. 605-477-3249. Justin is engineering the broadcast in Minnesota. Captain John Regan's back. Welcome, Captain John Regan.
Good morning, Vincent.
I hear a little bit of recovery in your voice. It sounds great. It's great to be with you. It sounds like you're almost there. Almost there. Am I right?
I think that's what they said once the car left the cliff. You're almost there.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Captain John Regan's with us, and if you'd like to follow along in class, thefinancialstateoftheunion.com, thefinancialstateoftheunion.com, please click on the news tab, and you can follow along with us today. I wanted to mention that tonight there's a meetup at Jimmy's Egg. Jimmy's Egg, Silent Night, is hosting the USA Prepares meetup. And the topic for tonight is, and I quote, the book on Blue Denim War. The book on Blue Denim War. That's tonight's topic. And I think it's going to be a great topic. Silent Night does a fabulous job of hosting the meetups at Jimmy's Egg. That's Jimmy's Egg, 4:45 to 8 o'clock this afternoon and evening, Springfield, Missouri. Information's on the website, usaprepares.com. So, Captain John Regan, what's new in your world?
Oh, boy. There's a bit going on. I do want to say next week, the 22nd, marks the 4th anniversary of my being on USA Prepares for the first time.
Isn't that wonderful? 4 years. 4 years, Captain Regan.
And that time I've missed one scheduled appearance. Just goes to show it's hard to find good help nowadays.
You're talking about me, right? Oh, geez. You know, I was thinking about that today. I was thinking about we've been broadcasting over 5 years at USA Prepares, and I'm really fortunate. I really am fortunate to have so many wonderful, wonderful friends, radio instructors, friends. It's just, I am truly, truly fortunate. And I really appreciate everything that you do, John Regan. You know, I've been talking with Joey, Miles, you, and some other instructors. Our phone rings off the hook here at the farm. And the sense of concern, the sense of we don't think we have much time left to get everything that we need to get done, is heightening every day. I really believe that so many things are going wrong all around us and in our lives, that we really need to take care of whatever we need to do. Don't postpone it. If you think you need it, I don't mean want it, but if you think you need it and you can afford it, you probably ought to do it, whatever that is. And that's what we're doing here at the farm. We surveyed tires. What tires can we salvage? What tires need to be replaced? What rubber parts do we need to replace? What vehicles need alignment? Wheel alignment, so that we don't wear out the tires any faster than we should. We want maximum life out of them. I bought something that I'd like to share with the class. I bought it well over a month ago, and it's called a battery desulfator. It's a battery desulfator. So if you have a lead acid battery, like the ones you have in your light trucks and automobiles, maybe motorcycles, or maybe four-wheelers, or utility vehicles, or backhoes, or bulldozers, whatever. If you have a lead acid battery or two that are used for starting those pieces of equipment or operating them, the batteries seem to last about, at the most, 3 years, and they decline very, very quickly. Well, I bought this device called a battery desulfator. It is about the size of 1.5 dominoes. Okay, the footprint is a little smaller than a credit card, maybe a ½ inch thick, 3/4 of an inch thick, and it has 2 wires. One wire is red and one wire is black. The black wire has a black alligator clip. The red wire has a red alligator clip. And there's a display. And you hook this device up to a battery that's being charged. Let's say you have a small 1 amp battery charger. You hook up the battery charger, and then you hook up this battery desulfator. And what it does is it uses the current that's available from the battery charger, and it builds up a higher voltage charge, and then it slams the battery with a pulse of higher voltage. And ultimately, it desulfates the battery. It removes the plaque, if you will, on the plates, the lead plates within the battery. And they say it takes about 1 day per pound of battery weight. So if you have a 50-pound battery, it takes about 50 days. So what I've done is I have a small battery charger, 1 amp. Oh, this thing will fit in your hand. And I provide a small amount of current to the battery, and this desulfator just pulses and pulses and pulses. And over time, the battery voltage increases, because a fully charged 12-volt battery is about 13.2 volts. And as they get older, they can't hold their charge as well, and the voltage drops into the point where your vehicle doesn't want to start very well. And pretty soon it doesn't start at all. And you can take a battery that, if you have enough electrolyte in it, you need to top it off with distilled water if it's low. Distilled water, let me say it a different way, distilled water. Not tap water, but distilled water. And be careful, wear eye protection when you do that. Don't overfill it. Charge the battery and leave it in a place that won't freeze. And you just may be able to recover a battery that was considered dead and not chargeable. So I found that to be the case on some of the batteries. We have an old backhoe that has 2 batteries, and whenever we wanted to start it, we'd have to jump it from a truck, and that was such a nuisance. Well, I hooked up this desulfator, and now it starts. And we have an old Ford tractor, my favorite, 1974 Ford tractor. It has an old battery in it, and that always needed to be charged, and now that starts pretty well. Actually, starts very well. So just a point, a battery desulfator, and they're available on the internet, eBay. I believe I paid $19.56 shipped, delivered from China. And they seem to look the same. Some of them have a blue label on them. Some of them have an orange label. So I bought one with the orange label. That's the one I tested. It has a little display, and the display will tell you the initial voltage of the battery, and it will tell you whether it's going to automatically desulfate at 12 volts, 24 volts, 36, or 48. It has a little LED that just blasts away and just lets you know with each pulse that it's working. And it's not going to be overnight. It's going to take, a week or two. And I think you'll be impressed because the cost of batteries is not going down. It's going up. Typically, a battery is over $100 now for a decent battery for your light truck or vehicle. So that's what I wanted to say about desulfators, John.
Okay. And I just want to, fall back on, not just me, but I've been noticing, it's not just broadcasters, but in the past couple of weeks, I've heard the Hagmans talk about coughing problems. Same thing from John B. Wells, the guerrilla economist, who many of you may have heard on the Hagmans, has his own weekly radio show, had to drop out of one of his shows a week ago Friday, and even Stan Deo had to cancel. So whatever is going around is it's pretty strong. It's only the second time I've gotten sick since starting Dr. Shealy's vitamin D protocol, and it's only the first time I've gotten sick since I learned when you know something's coming on to do the increased vitamin D for 3 days. So once Dr. Shealy gets back sometime soon, I'll call in and see if he has any other recommendations, because whatever this is going around, it really hits hard. Becky's suffering from it as well. And I know it hit me particularly hard because I've been going so hard for so long with no break that I just plain was worn down. And it's just going to take me a little bit of time to recover. But it's not what usually goes around. It's something else. And I don't know if it's just something natural or something engineered. Who knows nowadays? But we'll see what we can do to try and protect ourselves on that. And speaking of the Hagmans and John B. Wells, I'm so looking forward to the Hear the Watchman conference. I keep the post or the link at the top of my post. That's going to be in Dallas next month, and it's going to be so great to meet those broadcasters in person, along with so many great speakers. If you've never heard L.A. Marzulli, I mean, wow. So much to learn in so little time.
You're right, so little time. Captain John Regan, I'll be right back. I'm Vin Finelli. This is USAPrepares.com. Please select the financialstateoftheunion.com and click on the news tab. We'll be right back. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
You haven't experienced yogurt until you've tried a Mossy, embodying health and flavor in a true whole milk, green-fed dairy beverage. Every sip pays homage to our old world cows and the ancient culturing methods their milk benefits from. With over 30 probiotics, a Mossy's undeniably nutritious, refined, cultured sensation bolsters your health and awakens your passion for dairy. A Mossy's so good, and you need to try it. Contact your Youngevity distributor or call 877-878-4203 or go to gcnteam.com.
Ted Anderson telling you about Jordan Rubin's Beyond Organic Green-Fed Raw Cheddar Artesian Cheese featuring whole milk created through ancient dairy breeding, unpasteurized, untreated whole milk on the same farm the cows graze, containing natural sources of omega-3s, CLA protein, calcium, probiotics, and enzymes. I have never tasted cheese this good, and you need to try it. Contact your Longevity distributor or call 877-878-4203 or go to gcnteam.com.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
It's about time something new came along for better selling and buying online. And I found it.
What now, Marge?
It's buysellmakeoffer.com.
Never heard of it.
It's a brand new company. That's why you've never heard of it. It's the newest and best way to sell any products online. I did all the research.
Sell my car?
Yes.
Our home?
Yep.
My golf bag?
Your golf clubs. All of them.
How about your purse collection hoard?
Hey, now.
You said any product.
Right. I did. We get 30 days free.
Really?
Packages starting from only $7.95. And buysellmakeoffer.com will never charge item fees, ever. Never. And this is cool. Listen to this. You can even use Skype or video to show your items.
That's cool.
Yes. All we have to do is go to the website, sign up, and then load our stuff to sell. I love this site.
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. You got it?
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. Better selling, better buying.
Attention USA Prepares listeners. When you're on the road or have limited data or Wi-Fi, now you can listen to USA Prepares unfiltered and untapped at no extra charge on this non-federal phone number, 1-605-477-3249. Try it now to listen to USA Prepares 24/7 at no extra cost or data charges. These are not on federal lines. These are lines located on Indian reservations off the grid. Call 1-605-477-3249. No smartphones or internet needed. To hear USA Prepares untapped and off the grid, just call 1-605-477-3249.
Regan's with us. John, I'm at the financialstateoftheunion.com. Where do we start?
Well, let's just go ahead and start at the top.
Okay.
And just might want to say that I did make a post for last week. So if you do have internet, you can go read all the bad news we didn't get to.
Yeah.
Just a quick trip through the tale of two droughts. California did see a tad bit of improvement. It's now just 99.78%, at least abnormally dry, and only 94.7% in some stage of drought. So, for practical purposes, it doesn't matter, but at least there's been a little change seen. Now in Texas, it's really swung the other way. We've gone from just over 2% abnormally dry to almost 12%. And if we don't start seeing some rain soon, we're going to start seeing drought conditions return to Texas. And that's how quick things can change.
You know, I was reading a post about blackouts and how in South America there are electricity blackouts because of the lack of water for the hydroelectric power generation. Have you been following that?
I've seen it. I don't just follow it. There's just too many things to go on to try and keep track of, unless it's something really important that I do.
Well, the reason I'm mentioning this is we think that electricity it comes out of the outlet, right? Water comes out of the faucet, and there are shortages, and there are problems with the weather, and weather can cause change in rainfall, which causes a change in the ability to generate hydroelectric power in some locations. So that's just a thought. So something that we may consider as being just there because it's a utility, it's always there. it may not be the case. All right.
Well, let's slide on
What's-
down to financial. And, oh boy, I mean, last week, things started going haywire in Europe. Fortunately, it's holding together for now. The Baltic Dry Index finally stopped its falling. Thursday it stayed even. Friday it went up 1. Today it's up another 4. So it's gone from the absolute low of 290. It's now up to 295. That's still horrendously low. And the first article here, Shipping Sinking, just really goes to point that out. The world's largest shipping company, for 2015, their profits fell 84%, went from just over $5 billion in 2014 to under 800 million, 791 million for 2015. And analysts were expecting them to come in at about 3.7 billion, so it's quite a shock. But what's really got me, if you scroll down below the first graphic there, it gets into an area where talks about the freight rates. For 2015, average $620 a container for the Asia to Europe route. The thing is, the break-even point for that is over $1,000. In February, the cost of moving a container from Shanghai to Rotterdam fell to $431, which they say barely covers fuel costs. The graphic below that shows break-even point $1,300 for shipping a 20-foot container, and currently they're bringing in $431. So much like we've talked about with gold, silver, and other commodities, it's costing more to deliver than they get for the income, and whether it's in this case shipping, or whether it's the cost of getting an ounce of gold out of the ground. Companies aren't governments. They can't keep this up. And once their cash stash is gone, you then see mergers or shutdowns or takeovers by government.
Yep. Yeah, there's so many things going wrong, John. And as we mentioned, there's power rationing in Venezuelan malls. Think about that.
Taste and odor from your drinking water is easy. Removing the bad stuff you don't taste is what ProPure does best. Water the way nature meant it to be. Clean, crisp, and refreshing. See the complete line of ProPure countertop, inline, gravity, and household water filtration products. Visit your authorized ProPure dealer or ProPureUSA.com. That's ProPureUSA.com. Or call 800-544-3533.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
It's about time something new came along for better selling and buying online. And I found it.
What now, Marge?
It's buysellmakeoffer.com.
Never heard of it.
It's a brand new company. That's why you've never heard of it. It's the newest and best way to sell any products online. I did all the research.
Sell my car?
Yes.
Our home?
Yep.
My golf bag?
Your golf clubs. All of them.
How about your purse collection hoard?
Hey, now.
You said any product.
Right. I did. We get 30 days free.
Really?
Packages starting from only $7.95. And buysellmakeoffer.com will never charge item fees ever. Never. And this is cool. Listen to this. You can even use Skype or video to show your items.
That's cool.
Yes. All we have to do is go to the website, sign up, and then load our stuff to sell. I love this site.
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. You got it?
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
makeoffer.com. Better selling, better buying.
Today, more than ever, it's imperative that you protect your digital privacy. EDEC Digital Forensics, Signal Blocking, Anti-Radiation, Anti-Surveillance Faraday Bags shield the contents of your phones, tablets, and key fobs from 4G, Wi-Fi, GPS, Bluetooth, NFC, and more. Find us at edecdf.com/radio or call us now at 805-222-4584. That's 805-222-4584. Radio listeners get 20% off your order.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
Are your Google search results killing you? Unflattering content in blogs, news articles, online reviews, social media, or other sources can jeopardize your reputation, your business, and your livelihood. Let Reputation.com help. Our patented technology will make the truth about you more visible while pushing down unwanted negative content. Improve your Google search results. Call Reputation.com at 1-800-831-0771 for a free consultation. That's 800-831-0771.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I impartially shopped the highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $26 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-403-4885. That's 1-800-403-4885. 1-800-403-4885. Or go to SelectQuote.com. We shop, you save. Get full details in the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Captain John Regan's with us. I'm so glad you're back, John. And what's next?
I think I figured out why you put me on Mondays.
Why?
It makes the rest of the week seem so darn cheery.
You know, during... I'm working during the commercial breaks. You know, I'm working on farm things, and so during the last few minutes of commercial announcements, I checked on a tire order for a trailer, and the trailer is a cattle trailer, and it has 4 tires, and the size, it's an older cattle trailer. It's probably 20-something years old, maybe 24 years old, 25 years old, and the tires have dry rotted. So, I mean, they've got plenty of tread on them, but they're not safe to use. So I ordered 5 tires, 4 for the trailer and 1 for the spare, because the last thing I want to do is have a load of cows on a trailer and be traveling with them and have a flat and have no spare. So I wanted all the tires to match. Well, the tires that the original size for this trailer, they don't make anymore. Well, they hardly make anymore. They make it in China. But the size is 7 by 15, 7 inches by 15, sometimes called a 700, 7.00 by 15. Well, that's been replaced with 225, 75, 15. And so I ordered the tires last week, checked with the supplier, and I wanted 5 of them, 1 for the spare. I don't have them. They have 4 of them. So we're going to need 4. It's just one more little point that you just can't get what you want. Even when you order it, you can't get what you want because the supply chain might not have it. So I just wanted to share that little bit of news about what happened. And so I checked on 2 other tires for a vehicle that we have, and that size is 255, 70, 16. Doesn't have them either. And they might be able to get them. I'll find out later in the broadcast if during the commercial announcements if we can get them. So life is getting a little more frustrating. So what's next, John?
Yeah, and these are the good old days.
Right, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Up next is too big to bail. And the article says, don't worry about Deutsche Bank. It'll be bailed out by the government. Well, scroll down just a little bit. There's a graphic. It shows the German GDP, 3.9 trillion. I know trillions are way beyond what we can think of, but since everything is expressed in trillion, we just have to worry about the little number. So 3.9 for German. For the Eurozone, it's 13.2. So Germany's about 30% of the economy of the entire Eurozone there. And Deutsche Bank, total derivative exposure, 64 trillion. So nearly 5 times the total GDP of the entire Eurozone is what's on the books of Deutsche Bank. So if those things start unwinding, they're, it's kind of like you Humpty Dumpty, all the king's horses and all the king's men won't be able to put Deutsche Bank back together again. And if you see that go, that's a sign that things are going to unwind quickly. Hopefully, we have a few days here in the United States. It's said when Deutsche Bank goes, that'll take down the euro. Once the euro goes, the dollar won't be far behind, and that's if the dollar manages to last until then, because we've got Iran now trading oil in euros instead of dollars, and so if people don't want those pesky dollars that are pretty much worthless, they don't have to use them anymore. And then there's the whole negative interest thing. J.P. Morgan is saying that the NERP rates, I just love live radio when the computer decides to slow down. The European Central Bank cut rates to minus 4.5%, Japan to minus 3.45%, and the Fed to minus 1.3%. It's totally insane. I think if I pulled out my financial calculator and tried to plug in a negative interest rate, it'd tell me, hey, dummy, you can't do that. But this is what we're seeing because quantitative easing doesn't work, and this is the next thing. And I've got an article down in the control section that gets into why they are going to have to force us to go cashless, because this is all they have left before they totally lose control. And in this NERP world, negative interest rate, there's already $7 trillion worth of bonds that have negative yields. So these government bonds that are the nice, safe investment, if you've had any kind of investment training, you've probably heard, you can't lose money with government bonds. Well, now it's guaranteed you're going to lose money, but I guess it's still a safe haven because you'll at least get most of your money back, as opposed to the corporate bonds, which may or may not be there. Of course, maybe I just missed it. Did you have any education in negative interest rates when you went to school?
Well, I only spent 6 years formally being trained in finance and economics. I do have a couple certificates from the university saying that I graduated twice. And the answer is no. But But John, I remember meeting with the president of the bank here in Missouri when we first moved here, and I said, before I open an account, I want to meet with the president. And the people in the lobby that work in the bank were absolutely shocked that I would not open the account without meeting with the president. And they wanted to know why, and I explained to them that I wanted to make sure I knew what he looked like. Should they not be able to return my deposits to me? And I wanted to know who I needed to visit. And I wanted to explain that to him. So I did meet with the president of the bank. And so I explained to him I wasn't so much concerned about the return on my deposits as the return of my deposits. And now we're saying that you are guaranteed with these negative interest rates that if you put $1 in, you are guaranteed for sure that you will not get your full dollar out. Guaranteed. That's what you're saying, right, John?
Right, and don't think these negative interest rates are for you making loans. Your loan rates will probably continue to go up. However, if you want to save money and make a return on investment, they'll be very happy to give you the negative interest rates.
So why would we put our funds on deposit with people who are guaranteeing to return us less than we originally entrusted them with? And by the way, the whole thing is a concept. So we entrust them with the concept of $1 in funds. And we know that we're going to get less than $1 in funds back. Why would we entrust them with it rather than keep cash and get the full amount of our money rather than lose part of it to these thugs, these bankers?
And we'll talk about that shortly, about why they're going to make cash illegal.
And I have a real problem with that as well. And I've been talking on the phone with a number of our class about why I think cash is important. And to one, I explained, let's say I go to an auction. I haven't been to one in a long time, but let's say I go to an auction. Are they going to trust my check? Maybe, maybe not. Let's say I see on Craigslist a piece of equipment that I need for the farm. And I call up and I say, I'm interested in that piece of equipment. Do you think that guy's going to take a credit card? Do you think if I go to Illinois to buy it, or Michigan, or Kansas, or Ohio, they're gonna want to take my farm check or my personal check? I doubt it. They're going to want that transaction settled because I'll be driving away with that equipment on my trailer. And they want to make sure that that transaction is completed with good negotiable currency. They're going to want cash. They always want cash, John. And you know what's nice about cash, in addition to that, in addition to settling the account right then and there, there's an anonymity factor. Now, that's not always necessary, but sometimes it's nice. Sometimes it's nice to be anonymous. I don't try to be anonymous, but if I wanted to be, that's what cash would provide. I could say, I'd like to buy this, and here's the cash, and they probably wouldn't even ask my name because they would see cash. But if you don't have cash, they absolutely, positively want identification as to who you are. And really, whose business is it? Just the buyer and the seller, as far as I can tell. In most cases. So you bring up a really good point. When are we going to talk about cashless?
That's going to be right after this employment news where Carrier, the air conditioning manufacturer, moving 1,400 jobs to Mexico. So there's another win for Obama. And, it just goes to show that, now even Carrier's peddling fiction.
Okay, Carrier, when we talk about Carrier class, we're talking about the heating and cooling company. They make heat pumps, they make air conditioning units, they make gas-fired heating systems for your home and business. It's considered a premium brand. There you go. Moving to Mexico. So I hope the Mexicans can buy enough of their products to keep them going. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration system and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Is negative content or comments on the web affecting your personal or professional reputation? Unfavorable comments, embarrassing pictures, videos, legal documents, and negative articles can ruin your personal life, your career, or your business. It happens a lot, and it's just not fair. But what can you do? ReputationDefender.com can help protect your good name. Get a free consultation now. Call 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. Call right now for a free expert reputation analysis. It's easy to squash the unfair attacks with our patented system, and the analysis is absolutely free. Make the best things about you jump out in searches. Protect your personal and professional reputation, your business, and your income. Get your free reputation analysis from ReputationDefender.com right now. Call 800-831-0771. 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. Or visit ReputationDefender.com today.
Are you still looking for that one iodine that you can really trust? A medical doctor endorsed product that is backed by honest research and true integrative science? Then search no further. Go to NutriMedical.com for Dr. Bill Deagle's Nutriodine, proven time and time again to be the very best iodine available for you. Nutriodine is the only Tesla-activated monatomic plasma iodine in the world. It optimizes mitochondrial function and generation of new mitochondria, from totally neutralizing the venom from a desert recluse spider bite in Southern California to eliminating malaria parasites reported by medical missionaries in Central India. Dr. Bill's Nutriodine is simply the most powerful healing formula there is. Nutriodine clears the body of all known pathogens, restores it to an alkaline state, and even promotes stem cell regeneration. Order Dr. Bill's Nutriodine today at 888-212-8871 or visit us online at NutriMedical.com.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pileski of the Pileski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich? Working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare? Having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom106.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom, the number 106.com. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom106.com.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't take on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS.
If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
So, John, during the last segment, we were talking about Carrier, and I was thinking, well, I guess that's the last Carrier heat pump that I buy. We've bought them in the past. I've had enough. I don't need any more Carrier products. What do you think?
I guess the good news is at least it's not China.
Yeah, but we're still exporting our jobs, one factory at a time, and it bothers me. It really bothers me because I was looking at a chart, and it looks like the number of manufacturing jobs that we have lost have been replaced with jobs in waitressing and bartending. Am I right about that?
That's true. And the item that was in last week's post talks about how the restaurant industry is now experiencing unexpected problems. So the wonderful minimum wage economy that's been bringing the unemployment rate down is looking to be on some shifting sand.
Well, I'm looking at this chart, and it says waiter, bartender versus manufacturing jobs since 2007, and it looks like it's almost starting in 2009. It looks like the number of waiter and bartender jobs is literally increasing at the same rate that we're losing jobs in manufacturing. So literally it looks to me like we're replacing manufacturing by serving food at restaurants and serving drinks at bars. And I can't for the life of me think of any country that I look up to by saying, you know what a great country that is. They've got so many bartenders and they have so many waiters and waitresses. What a great place to live. When I think of great countries, I think of innovation. I think of manufacturing. I think of quality of life, and I think, I don't think of being in the service sector as the place to get a job, as being a country where I would look forward to moving to.
We're probably going to look like Ireland soon, where they had PhDs working at 7-Eleven.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pretty sad. And who brings this morass? Well, I'd have to say that it's brought to us by the combination of politicians and corporations. Corporations and politicians work together. And I believe that that's what lobbying is. I believe lobbying is where you bribe a politician to give your industry an advantage. You bribe politicians to give your industry an advantage over others because it's easier and cheaper to bribe politicians than it is to earn a living or earn your way to prominence in the marketplace. And we see it every day.
Let me run this by you. The cashless slavery. This was spotted during a Morgan Stanley presentation. Someone who had sat next to someone in the policy circles said that we should move quickly to a cashless economy so that we could introduce negative rates well below 1%. And the reason that they need to do that is because if they have negative interest rates below that, then people will start hoarding cash.
Yeah, so they're looking for the pain threshold, where we're willing to. Well, it's only 1%, so we'll just throw away 1%, give it to the banks because they deserve it, right? But more than 1%, we say no, we're not giving it to them. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, they need to induce more pain because of the situation we're in.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we're going to talk more about that on the other side of the break.
Sure.
Okay, Captain John Regan, he's holding back the coughs. He's a real trooper. He's with us today. Going into a top-of-the-hour commercial news, and how many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit guns80.com, guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
It's about time something new came along for better selling and buying online. And I found it.
What now, Marge?
It's buysellmakeoffer.com.
Never heard of it.
It's a brand new company. That's why you've never heard of it. It's the newest and best way to sell any products online. I did all the research.
Sell my car?
Yes.
Our home?
Yep.
My golf bag?
Your golf clubs. All of them.
How about your purse collection hoard?
Hey, now.
You said any product.
Right. I did. We get 30 days free.
Really?
Packages starting from only $7.95. And buysellmakeoffer.com will never charge item fees, ever. Never. And this is cool. Listen to this. You can even use Skype or video to show your items.
That's cool.
Yes. All we have to do is go to the website, sign up, and then load our stuff to sell. I love this site.
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. You got it?
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. Better selling, better buying.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't pick on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS.
If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
Looking for that edge during those intimate moments? We see many ads for enhancement, but the side effects include death. At GCN Team, we should change the Healthy Body, Brain, and Heart Pack to the Healthy Libido Pack. The brain and heart are not the only organs that require a healthy vascular system. For proper blood flow at the right moment, go to gcnteam.com or call 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203.
Watch the greenbacks tumble.
Everyone all set? Cocked? Locked? Hour number 2 of USAPreparedness.com. Captain John Regan's with us. And we've been talking about negative interest rates during hour number 1. You know, it seems just absolutely unnatural for a bank to charge you to put your funds on deposit with them. So and not even funds, it's actually a concept right now. Digits, electronic digits. So Captain John Regan, what we're saying is that if you put funds on deposit in the future in a bank in the United States, you will get less back than you deposited. Is that correct?
That's what they really want to do. If you, the negative interest rate will be a feature of your checking account.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, frankly, I will not use a checking account that has fees associated with it. So if I can't get free checking, I don't have free checking. So we have free checking, several accounts. And I don't pay for credit cards either. I don't pay an annual fee. And the credit cards that we have a cash back of some kind, or the equivalent of a cash back, like gas card. Gas cards get sent to us, when we get enough units to have a $20, couple $20 gas cards sent to us. So I'm not interested in paying for credit cards. I'm not interested in paying for checks. And I'm certainly not interested in paying for the bank to hold digits on my behalf.
And that's why they
When do
have
you
to
think
make
this is
cash
coming?
illegal.
Mm-hmm. So do you have a feel for when this is going to happen?
Well, we've got a small variety of options of what's going to happen with our future. We know we're going to have a financial collapse, and we know that's not years off. Maybe we get 2 or 3 before that bug hits the windshield moment, but I really believe this is the year where everybody's going to start feeling the pain and realize that the lies just don't work anymore. The question is do we go through that part first, or does World War III end first? We've got weird things going on in the Middle East with Turkey and Saudi now getting involved with Syria. And, of course, Iran and Russia not going to stand for that. So we could very quickly see conflicts escalate, literally in the next few weeks. So financial collapse, war, or if you are really on the deep end of saying that the bankers control everything, they could just plain implement the New World Financial Order, which would include these negative interest rates, ban on cash, and that's a whole lot easier done now since smartphone adaptation is very high. The blockchain technology has been proven with Bitcoin, so they can fairly easily transfer over into the cashless society. We're already seeing, forget which country in Europe is going that way. It's already in progress. But which direction we go depends on, what order things happen in, and it's still what I've been talking about. We either get on the other side of this collapse without technology, which is bad for people that want to eat and drink, but we do get rid of a lot of the bad things. On the other hand, if we make it through with the technology in place, which is what's going to allow the cashless society, the Internet of Things, where everything is surveilled and controlled. We've seen so many movies that have played off those themes. I don't see a way out because there's just too much been put in place to where we can't avoid this cliff. And just the financial part, if it's only a depression, it's still bad. But from what I see, we're going to have much more interesting times than just that.
John, when you talk about a cashless society, I saw an example this past weekend on Saturday, 2 days ago, of what happens when the cashless machine doesn't operate. So our family went to a factory clothing outlet to buy blue jeans, work shirts, not farm workwear, if you will. And we tried to buy it at way off list price because I think it's crazy to pay full price for anything. So we were in this factory discount outlet, and we had our shopping cart with blue jeans for just about everybody in the family, and and some work shirts and so forth. And all of a sudden, the line got really long. And the reason the line got long was not that there were a lot of customers there. It's because the credit card machine shut down. It was non-operational. So everybody who was in line stayed in line, and there was no progress. And we were prepared to use cash. So we were able to, if we wanted to, use cash and proceed with our transaction. But the announcement went over the PA. Our credit card machines are having problems. Please bear with us. We're on the phone with the credit card people and see if we get that back up and running. And there's another store in this particular outlet next door over, and the cashier manager came in and said, "Hey, ours is working." So they're trying to figure out if it was, an area outage, or whether it was a building outage, or whether it was just this one particular store, or what the problem was. But I got a chance to see what happened. And I would say that hardly anybody who was there would be able to complete their purchases without credit cards. That's what I saw. I saw that. Then they got their machines working, and everything was good again while we were there. Bottom line is, how many people are prepared to spend cash? How many people have cash in their wallets? And we've all been told how dangerous it is to have cash because someone could steal your wallet, right? I think cash is the way to go if you can do it in a lot of instances. So there we have just one simple example. If the electricity goes down, there are no transactions. Absolutely no transactions. They don't even know what the prices are. Now, in this case, the electricity was up. They knew what the prices were. They could ring everything up on the register. They couldn't charge your credit card because that portion of their computer system was down.
Well, let me move on. GPS update. I thought this was interesting. The headline is a super GPS that means self-driving cars will never get lost. New technique makes system accurate to just a few centimeters. And I thought this was kind of funny because the military was the ones that put the GPS satellites up, and they had this high accuracy. When they allowed the civilian side to use the technology, they dumbed it down so it wasn't as accurate. And while that was good enough for civilian work, they didn't want not only the civilians, they didn't want other countries to be able to use that cheaper technology to have the high accuracy to target weapons. But we're going to see some other interesting things if I get down into the big picture today about how this technology can be used to really mess things up rather quickly.
John, as I hear you describe this, I'm thinking about just traveling along in my old pickup truck, and there in the road is a carcass of a tire from a tractor trailer that I certainly don't want to hit, because if it kicks up right, it'll rip out my cooling lines for the automatic transmission. It can tear through the grill. It could rupture tires. And then there are pieces of debris that fall off pickup trucks in front of us, boards with nails and things like that. There are deer that run out from the side of the road so quickly that it's very difficult to react. I wonder how these driverless vehicles are going to handle those kinds of things. Are we just going to plow through the deer? Or are we going to slam on the brakes so the guy behind us slams into us? How's this going to work? And what are we going to do about those hazards in the road? The nails, the pieces of metal, the tire carcasses, and so forth. How are we going to handle that with these driverless vehicles?
Well, that's why there's sensors, not just, driving by GPS. And there's already been the discussion of when there's those situations where a crash is unavoidable, then the intelligence in the car is going to have to make a decision. Who gets crashed out?
And whose fault is it? So if you have a vehicle and it's driverless, and you're in your vehicle and it's traveling along and there's an accident, are you responsible, or is the GPS satellite company responsible, or are the sensor companies responsible, or is Google responsible, or is the county or the state responsible because of the conditions on the road? Why wouldn't they be? Because we would be just passengers, right? We're just going along for the ride. A lot to think about. I don't like any of it. And the last thing I want to do is be surrounded by vehicles who have no operators, no live operators. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration system and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care, as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
Are you looking to sell body armor? Want to make extra money selling body armor at your local gun shows? With low minimum buys and great returns, Katie Armor is the answer. Make money in your spare time. It's American-made body armor with the quickest turnaround in the industry, which means you get your product when you need it at very competitive rates. And they'll ship it to you for free. If you own a business, give them a call today at 855-488-KATIE. That's 855-488-2284. Or go to katiearmor.com. Come and take it.
What would your life be like if you woke up each morning with new vitality, feeling better than you have in years, and you noticed a difference in your sleeping patterns, blood sugar levels, and had a sense of well-being overall? There's something that is changing thousands of people's lives, and you could be one of them. It's called Heart and Body Extract. Sharon Harris, co-creator of Heart and Body Extract, talks about the positive effects of Heart and Body Extract.
What happens with the formula Heart and Body Extract is it's giving the body the necessary vitamins, minerals, amino acids, enzymes, and phytonutrients so the body will heal itself. And yes, the body does have the ability to balance blood pressure, balance cholesterol, clean and unclog the arteries. It can also work on balancing the circulation for diabetics. So the body is an amazing thing. It simply needs some help, so it has the tools to heal itself.
Heart and Body Extract gets results. To order your 2-month supply, call now, toll free at 866-295-5305. Order online at hbextract.com.
You've seen crazy diets to lose weight. At GCN Team, our healthy body weight loss system simply neutralizes the body, bringing down cravings. It has been proven that nutritional deficiencies drive appetite for carbs, sugars, and fats. Lose weight the easy way. Find us at gcnteam.com or call 877-878-4203. Fighting cravings is a fool's game. Give the body what it needs to be satisfied. Again, 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203.
Captain John Reagan's with us, class, and if you'd like to follow along, thefinancialstateoftheunion.com, thefinancialstateoftheunion.com, and please click on the news tab. Okay, John, back to you.
Let's pick up with Fukushima. Radiation this week. The loser is Bakersfield, almost 1,700 counts per minute. And just looking at the top 5 there, we go from California, Florida, Washington, Colorado, and Arkansas. So these high counts are literally all over the country. But we do have some good news. They managed to shut down the gas leak near L.A. There's going to be, some fallout from health effects that we may not know about for a while. But at least for now, that situation is under control. And the Indian Point power plant has been leaking a lot of tritium into the groundwater there. The good news is this is already into the mainstream news, and the link I provided there is from New York Daily News. And surprisingly, I still have not seen one article about the emergency shutdown you talked about last week in Carolina.
Yeah, there's one, but we've confirmed it. I talked with the deputy director of emergency management in Brunswick County, North Carolina. He confirmed that it absolutely did happen, but he also said there were no leaks, no radiation leaks. No one was in danger. Not the control room operator, not the employees on campus, nor anyone on campus, nor the surrounding village. The sirens did not go off. However, just about every government agency you can think of was notified that there was this scram, this manual shutdown. So our plan is to talk more about that with a control room operator this weekend. That's the plan. And someone in the safety area of nuclear reactors. So those are the, that's planned for this week. And I really don't want to say exactly when it is, because I have a concern that broadcast will be derailed. John, I'm looking at NETC right now, netc.com. So where are the RADCON 4s? Texas, Kansas, Illinois, and that's it for right now, this very second. Texas, Illinois, and Kansas. RADCON 4. There are plenty of RADCON 3s and RADCON 2 alerts. netc.com. What's next?
I got to thinking, if you remember the original Planet of the Apes that came out in the 60s, might have been early 70s. The second movie in that series, they had this cult of surviving humans that worshipped a nuclear bomb. And I was just wondering, if we end up on the other side and have all of these nuclear power plants that are in essence big bombs, and the humans around those plants manage to figure out a way of keeping those rods cool so they don't go critical and cause a radiation release. After doing that for a few generations, will these power plants become worship centers like we saw in the movies?
Interesting thought. Yeah, Planet of the Apes, 1968. It was a brilliant movie in its time, and it's probably worth watching again. It probably is. It's about how society collapsed, and the apes became the dominant life form, the most intelligent life form, and then there were there was a human that was among them, and they thought he was not very intelligent, a lower form of life than the apes. Worth watching. We'll be right back.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today. Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Sling bow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of sling bow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Any Jane Doe can tell you that Geico could help you save. But since money talks, we just ask the savings instead.
Greetings and some salutations. I'm Jane's Money, and I never knew my self-worth until Jane switched her car insurance at Geico.com. Those 15 minutes built me up to real savings. Geico's been helping customers save money like me for over 75 years. So take that to the bank. And namaste.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
How big is Rite Aid's Big Point event? Plenty big. The more participating products you buy with Wellness Plus with Plenty, the more Plenty points you earn through February 27th. Earn 2,000 points when you spend $100, another $1,500 when you get to $150, and yet another $1,500 at $200. That's up to 5,000 Plenty points worth at least $50 in savings, only at Rite Aid. With us, it's personal. Earning based on total purchases from $131 to $227.16. Limit 5,000 Plenty points per card. Plenty is a rewards program. Terms and conditions apply. See plenty.com/terms for details.
By now you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Blockit Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockitPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockitPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockitPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
This is a healthcare alert from the Pain Relief Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one suffers from knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain and have Medicare as your primary insurance, we've got great news. You don't have to suffer any longer. You can immediately qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you by calling our 24/7 Pain Relief Hotline at 866-389-0620. Delivery is free and all paperwork is handled for you. If you are on Medicare and have knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain, don't wait. You can qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost by calling our 24/7 Pain Hotline now at 866-389-0620. Our representatives are standing by 24/7 to take your call and rush you your pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you. Shipping is free and all paperwork is handled for you. Just call 866-389-0620. That's 866-389-0620. Again, 866-389-0620.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Do you have difficulty taking supplements? Are you searching for a high-quality, complete nutritional drink that your whole family will love? NutriMedical's Life Support has arrived. All of your daily nutritional requirements in one quick, delicious drink. Dr. Bill Deagle's Life Support is a proprietary blend of vegan protein, activated vitamins, essential minerals, amino acids, probiotics, green tea, digestive enzymes, anti-inflammatories, cancer prevention, detoxification, and much more. Your body will high-five you for this one. Life Support is the best complete nutritious meal replacement on the market. Whether you are an elite athlete, have post-operative challenges, chronic illness, elderly, or a family that just wants a quick, delicious drink, try Dr. Bill Deagle's Life Support for optimized nutrition in one great tasting smoothie. Just add cold water, almond milk, fruit, or anything else you like. NutriMedical's Life Support. Try our great tasting chocolate or vanilla today. Call 888-212-8871 or visit us online at NutriMedical.com. NutriMedical.com for the whole family.
Captain John Regan was, hey, John, imagine this. Imagine you have a neighbor, and your neighbor calls 911, and law enforcement shows up, and they show up in a truck or trucks, and let's say there are about 10 of them, and they have AR-15s, and they're ready to execute you because your neighbor calls 911 erroneously and falsely. And when it's all over, nobody gets shot yet. And nobody says, you know what, we're sorry. We're really sorry that we came out here and we scared you to death or almost to death, shortened your life with this experience. No one says that. And instead they arrest you based on some supposition of some neighbor, and there's no evidence. There's no evidence, and it's one neighbor calling. One neighbor calling 911. Can you imagine that? Well, we're going to do a special this week on that. We're going to talk about what that's like. And I know the people it happened to. I know them. That's coming up this week. And I really don't want to say exactly when because I have a feeling that the cops may show up at my place while we're talking about it on the air. Captain John Regan, back to you.
Well, let's go down to the bigger picture. On top is physics and the economy. Specifically the titles, The Physics of Energy and the Economy. And this is an article we could just spend a whole episode on. We talked about Chris Martenson, the crash course in the past, and
yes,
this is kind of a different angle on the energy side of that. And let me just talk around it a bit. We typically talk a lot about financial, which is an abstract view of the economy and has some artificial constructs in it. And what I mean by that is, in the financial world, we have this fiat currency. We've got these stocks and bonds, which are paper products. There's then derivatives on top of all of that. And there's a connection between that and the economy, but not absolutely directly. Now, when you get into the real economy, where things actually have to happen, whether it's production or service, either way, you need to have people and energy, or I guess nowadays artificial intelligence, which still needs energy. So that energy is a big part of the equation when we look at the real world. And one of the things that it has become a big deal is it's not that we're running out of oil, we're running out of easy-to-get-to oil. And that means it's not just a matter of the financial cost of getting it out of the ground, it's the energy cost of getting it out of the ground. It used to be you could get 100 barrels of oil out of the ground for a barrel's worth of work. Now that's decreasing at a fairly rapid rate. And when it gets to the point where it takes a barrel's worth of oil to get a barrel out of the ground, it doesn't matter how much you ramp that up. It's not going to solve your energy problems. And it's is one of those long-term problems. I guess the good news is that one way or the other after the crash, this gets taken care of. We either go back to doing agriculture the old-fashioned way, or we've got the nice new world order that will just get rid of a bunch of people and have machines do a lot of the work, and perhaps they can get more of that onto solar power. But it's a fairly long article, but I would recommend reading it if you have access to internet, and it will help you to understand the context of what we're in a little bit better.
I remember talking with a state representative here in Missouri, and they had this plan to convert food, corn, to ethanol. And I remember saying to him, I was in the truck, and I looked at him and I said, "Did you ever take a course in physics?" And he looked at me and I said, "So it takes more than a gallon of energy to produce a gallon of alcohol. You realize that, right?" And he said, you just don't know the pressure we're under, you know. We were really under a lot of pressure to vote for that." And I said, yeah. So now it's worse than that. So here we have a guy who I don't think has ever taken a physics course. He's never taken an accounting course. And so he's voting for things he knows nothing about. And the ethanol is destroying a lot of our fuel systems in our older vehicles. So there are ramifications to some of this legislation. These guys aren't even smart enough to realize what they're doing. We know they're defective. We know that. And they're easily bribed, and so they're weak. And that's how we get here. That's how we get here.
Well, at risk of pushing a button early, let me move to the next one, equal partners. The feds seek home visits, calling parents equal partners. Yeah, right. Since when do people get to be equal partners with the government? This is pretty much out of the Communist playbook. If you haven't read the Communist Manifesto, you can find it for free online or go to the local library, check it out. And what you'll discover is the state owns everything, including your children, your wife. It doesn't matter. The state owns it. And this is so disgusting on so many levels where, if your equal partner of the state doesn't agree with the way that you raise your kids, you either are going to have to change or they'll take the kids and put them in a better place.
Well, we're going to talk about that this week, John. We have some people who have experienced this. We have a family who Child Protective Services was called on, the government, because the neighbor said, well, these people just aren't providing enough for their children. So, and we'll talk about that. But what you're talking about, John, is these equal partners, as the government would want us to believe that we are with them, equal partners in the development, in the education, in the wellness, and the health and the mental health of the parents, their attitudes, their housing. Every aspect of our lives, the government wants to be partners with us. And I'm trying to think about how they do compared to how we do. Okay? How well are we doing in education? We're getting dumber by the second. How well are we doing with health? We're getting less healthy. Every second, we're becoming less healthy. How well did they do in healthcare? They've destroyed it. How well are they doing protecting us with the police, which has become law enforcement? They beat us up, and I know you want to talk about that as well, with some of the tools that they have. How well are they doing with the water treatment? How well have they done with nuclear power? They've contaminated the aquifers. They've put nuclear reactors on top of water supplies, and they all leak. And as you mentioned, at Indian Point, the water has extreme levels of tritium. And we know that that causes cancer. And that's how well the government has managed what we know of. There's just a few of the items. How about that massive accident 30 miles outside of Los Angeles in California in 1948? How about that? How about the first nuclear accident we've had? An explosion. How someone wasn't handling the control rods properly. Yeah, if you talk to guys like Rick Miller and Norm Shealy and you and me, and we just don't feel comfortable with the government handling hardly anything. They can't handle a landfill. They can't handle a dump. We've got one on fire outside of St. Louis. There's so much trash that our government has left in orbit right outside of Earth that we have to have a series of computer systems to track where the trash is so that the satellites don't crash into it. We throw our candy wrappers outside the spacecraft. What are we thinking? We've polluted the oceans. The fish are eating plastic balls in the ocean. Did you try to push my buttons?
I've got a special one for that. Let me move on to blocking. And this I pulled up because I think everybody knows that we need another justice to fill the Supreme Court. And this is just the first article I found. I found two more this morning that I'll bring up next week. But this was an instance early in Bush 43's presidency where Democrats blocked the Supreme Court nominee for 2 years.
Okay. You want to talk about that when we get back?
Very quickly.
Okay. And then you're going to get into a button pusher? He's going to put me into a launch?
I'll see what I can do.
How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Any Jane Doe can tell you that Geico could help you save. But since money talks, we just ask the savings instead.
Greetings and sun salutations. I'm Jane's Money, and I never knew my self-worth until Jane switched her car insurance at Geico.com. Those 15 minutes built me up to real savings. Geico's been helping customers save money like me for over 75 years. So take that to the bank. And namaste.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
How big is Rite Aid's Big Point event? Plenty big. The more participating products you buy with Wellness Plus with Plenty, the more Plenty points you earn through February 27th. Earn 2,000 points when you spend $100, another 1,500 when you get to $150, and yet another 1,500 at $200. That's up to 5,000 Plenty points worth at least $50 in savings, only at Rite Aid. With us, it's personal. Earning based on total purchases from $131 to $227.16. Limit 5,000 Plenty points per card. Plenty is a rewards program. Terms and conditions apply. See plenty.com/terms for details.
Are you still looking for that one iodine that you can really trust? A medical doctor endorsed product that is backed by honest research and true integrative science? Then search no further. Go to NutriMedical.com for Dr. Bill Deagle's Nutriodine, proven time and time again to be the very best iodine available for you. Nutriodine is the only Tesla-activated monatomic plasma iodine in the world. It optimizes mitochondrial function and generation of new mitochondria, from totally neutralizing the venom from a desert recluse spider bite in Southern California to eliminating malaria parasites reported by medical missionaries in central India. Dr. Bill's Nutriodine is simply the most powerful healing formula there is. Nutriodine clears the body of all known pathogens, restores it to an alkaline state, and even promotes stem cell regeneration. Order Dr. Bill's Nutriodine today at 888-212-8871 or visit us online at NutriMedical.com.
This is Rick Ossick, president of Famous Footwear. Our company is working together with the March of Dimes through March for Babies to raise money and awareness about the serious problem of premature birth in the U.S. As a business leader, I know that babies born very sick or too soon cost businesses billions of dollars each year, in addition to the emotional stress on employees and their families. That's why Famous Footwear is committed to raising funds to improve the health of moms and babies everywhere. Won't you please join us in the March for Babies? Start a team today at marchforbabies.org.
It's about time something new came along for better selling and buying online. And I found it.
What now, Marge?
It's buysellmakeoffer.com.
Never heard of it.
It's a brand new company. That's why you've never heard of it. It's the newest and best way to sell any products online. I did all the research.
Sell my car?
Yes.
Our home?
Yep.
My golf bag?
Your golf clubs. All of them.
How about your purse collection hoard?
Hey, now.
You said any product.
Right. I did. We get 30 days free.
Really?
Packages starting from only $7.95. And buysellmakeoffer.com will never charge item fees ever. Never. And this is cool. Listen to this. You can even use Skype or video to show your items.
That's cool.
Yes. All we have to do is go to the website, sign up, and then load our stuff to sell. I love this site.
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. You got it?
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. Better selling, better buying.
Attention USA Prepares listeners. When you're on the road or have limited data or Wi-Fi, now you can listen to USA Prepares Unfiltered and Untapped at no extra charge on this non-federal phone number, 1-605-477-3249. Try it now to listen to USA Prepares 24/7 at no extra cost or data charges. These are not on federal lines. These are lines located on Indian reservations off the grid. Call 1-605-477-3249. No smartphones or internet needed. To hear USA Prepares Untapped and off the grid, just call 1-605-477-3249.
Wow, time flies with Captain John Regan. TheFinancialStateOfTheUnion.com. John, back to you.
Well, what we're going to see is a recurring theme, and the way it works, if there's a Democrat president in office, then we should approve the Supreme Court justice as soon as possible. If there's a Republican president in office, we should wait until the next president. And like I said, I'll be bringing forward a couple more articles just to show that that's what the theme has been for some time. Want to quickly touch on the coming tactics, and this talks about the title's a Robotic 9/11, and it talks about how just these small commercial drones could be used as weapons. And they're not very robust. We're talking about a 1 to 2 pound payload, 20-minute flight time, and they're relatively slow. But the scenario that's put out here is you take 10 of these drones, you have them take off in 1-minute intervals, follow flight path to a pre-selected part of an airport. When they arrive, the digital cameras would identify the nearest wing of an aircraft. The drone would land itself in the middle of that wing. A pound of thermite in the payload would ignite upon landing. The thermite would burn through the wing, igniting the fuel inside, and then most of the airport, nearly all the planes on the tarmac are destroyed. So with relatively small expenditure and number of people, you can wreak havoc. In the next one, perspective, I just want to point out there's a graphic in there that talks about cement usage. And for the United States, in the 20th century, 1901 to 2000, we used 4.5 gigatons of cement. China, from 2011 to 2013, 3 years, went through 6.6 gigatons of concrete. So basically about 50% more than the United States did in the entire 20th century. China has been busy. And now to take us out, let's move to button pushers. The link is called Non-Lethal. And the title of the article is Can Tasers Damage the Brain? Use of the non-lethal weapons has been linked with symptoms similar to those seen in dementia. The shocks impair the ability to remember and process information. The brain function can remain impaired for up to an hour after being hit. That also means suspects are unable to answer police questions. And these shocks induce the same cognitive decline seen in 79-year-olds. So, non-lethal does not mean non-damaging. And why don't you go ahead and go with the result of the button push?
Let me just mention this. You're talking about the robotic 911 with these drones. That is a post that you read from. So, class, we are not advocating that this kind of activity be deployed. We're just saying that this is an article that John Regan has found, and it's called, by Global Gorillas, and the link is on the financialstateoftheunion.com news tab. John,
just pointing out how vulnerable we are.
Right.
It's much like with the electric system. Those large transformers, a similar type attack. It doesn't take an EMP.
Here's my reaction to these non-lethal weapons. Okay, we know that these guys have handheld lightning. We know that the Blue Plague is delivering strikes of handheld lightning to their victims, and it's an absolute outrage that these guys can hit their target, their victim, with 50,000 volts of shock through probes that are embedded in the skin. And they think, some of them think it's fun. Well, it's an outrage. And knowing that you're reducing a person's cognitive function by doing that each time you squeeze that trigger is absolutely an outrage. And these people who deploy these tasers should be prosecuted. They should be arrested. They should be jailed. They should be tried and convicted when appropriate. I'm not kidding. And if someone points one at me, by now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration system and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Are you sneezing, coughing, and aching? Do you have a sore throat, a fever, or the sniffles? There's no reason to be sick this cold and flu season with immune system support from Supernatural Silver. Supernatural Silver can give your body the help it needs to fight off harmful pathogens without hurting beneficial gut flora and without leaving behind resistant bacteria. Antibiotics can damage good microflora and often leave behind bacteria which can cause problems later on. If you're sick of being sick, Try Supernatural Silver. Supernatural Silver, the #1 choice of thousands for a safe and effective way to protect against the many diseases and illnesses that we are facing today. Go to supernaturalsilver.com, read our customer reviews, and see the life-changing results that people are having. That's supernaturalsilver.com. Supernaturalsilver.com. Use the promo code PROTECTED for 20% off your entire order. And like us on Facebook. Supernatural Silver.